As you know, my name is Alice Thompson, and I am the community outreach specialist. And we, first of all, I want everyone to know about the DACA call center number. This number is very important. The number is 202-724-5626. And my government mobile number is 202-288-5330. And I am alice.thompson@dc.gov. And I'm going to be reading out everything because I realize there are a few people on telephones, right? Do we have anyone on telephone?
Yes, we have a couple folks on.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm ready.
Awesome. Would you like folks to raise their hand and you answer questions during, or would you rather folks still raise their hand in Zoom but wait until the end?
They can raise their hand. I don't mind stopping if they want to raise their hand and ask me a question.
Okay.
That doesn't bother me at all.
Oh, awesome. No problem at all. I will be assisting you with that. So for any hands, I guess after each section or each slide, if you guys have any questions, please raise your hand and I'll be able to direct you all to Miss Alice, okay? But thanks for coming on, Miss Alice, and I know we're going to learn a lot today.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a pretty satisfying PowerPoint presentation. It gives you a great idea of what we do. And I will kind of go into detail on certain things, and I'm going to ask you questions to see how much you know. Okay?
Yep, thank you. Just let me know when to move on to the next slide.
I'm ready.
And if Alice ever asks you a question, please raise your hand in Zoom so we can call on you, okay?
Okay, so the mission of the Department of Aging and Community Living, what we do is advocate, plan, implement, and monitor programs in health, education, and social services for the elderly to promote longevity, independence, dignity, and caregivers, to ensure the rights of older residents and their families, and prevent their abuse, neglect, and exploitation, to uphold the core values of service excellence, respect, compassion, integrity, and accountability, and to lead efforts to strengthen service delivery and capacity by engaging community stakeholders and partners to leverage resources. Anyone have any questions about that? Pretty explanatory, right? Self-explanatory? Okay, we'll move on. Who we are, the District of Columbia Department of Aging and Community Living, DACA, provides programs and services for residents aged 60 and older, and adults with disabilities and their caregivers. So when they say adults with disabilities, they are speaking of anyone aged 18 and up to 59, okay? And one of the things I want to point out real quick is that we had always been known as the DC Office on Aging. How many people knew that our names had been changed around about 20? I think it was pretty much 2020 when before Marion Barry passed, he said that he wanted to make DC Office on Aging a department. And so once we became a department, they brought in the Adult Protection Service. How many people have heard of APS? Just put up a hand. APS? Okay. All right, so we'll move on.
We have two folks that raised their hand.
Oh, good. Okay, so we're going to talk about APS because I want to make sure that you all know about APS. It should be more than two people.
Oh, ones that we saw, but yes, I've heard of that as well.
What we do, we work with more than 20 community-based nonprofit organizations delivering over 40 programs to help you live in your community. And many of our programs are free or low cost. Nearly all of them are free, okay? Mostly all of them are free. It's a few that cost. If you go into an adult daycare center and you have a certain income you have to pay. Okay. Learn about DACA's programs and services. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the Department of Aging and Community Living case management. So what do you think case management means? So I'm going to tell you, because you can see this is a pretty wordy presentation right here. Case management. The Department of Aging and Community Living's case management team helps clients identify their needs, set mutually agreeable goals, develop a plan of action to reach those goals, and provide connection to long-term services and support. Case management services are offered to district seniors age 60 and older and adults 18 to 59 with disabilities who have complex needs and require coordination with multiple parties to reach their goals. District caregivers. Case management does not provide therapeutic or mental health services, have the authority to take custody of any adult for any reason. So this is really important. We do not handle mental health at all. Can somebody tell me who handles mental health for the District of Columbia?
Okay.
Come on, people.
Ms. Brenda, you raised your hand.
I know somebody knows.
Go ahead, Ms. Brenda.
Yes, her hand raised.
It's the Department of Behavioral Health.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Brenda. Good job.
That's great, Brenda. Now, when they say take custody of any adult, okay, suppose a neighbor says, this person act like she is going nuts and there's nobody there with her and she's in this house all by herself and she's doing this and she's doing that and somebody need to come and get her. They cannot do that. They have to go to court, go before a judge, and the judge is the one that will hire what you call them. They are it's like counselors, but I forgot the word, sorry about that. But what they do, they help the person. They could be in charge of their wallets. When I say wallets, I'm talking about their checking account. But these people have to be trustworthy because the judge has appointed them. And sometimes family members are appointed too. But a lot of times when the judge appoints people, sometimes those very people that the judge appointed could end up stealing from the people. You see, so that's why it's very important that family members stay involved or the case managers stay on top of this, because you don't know if the people that was awarded the authority to take care of these people, take care of their finances, make sure they get to the doctor, make sure their home is clean, make sure they have food, all that type of stuff. You don't know whether or not they could have started off being trustworthy, but then maybe this person has so much money that they just couldn't figure out a way not to touch it. You see what I'm saying? It was easy for them to do and they did it. So that's really important. But what the judges try to do is make sure that family members, unless there's something wrong with the family, and the judge can usually tell that when they're in conversations. Otherwise, it'll be a court appointed. They're called court appointed. Oh God, I can't think of the word. They're court appointed. I'm sorry, my mind went blank on it. But they're appointed by the court to make sure that the people are getting good service. So, for an example, assistance filling out some of the things that case management can help you with is, but not limited to, how many people know that we have a lot of people in Washington, DC, and I'm only talking about Washington, DC, because that's where we are. We have a lot of people in Washington, DC that cannot read. Did a lot of people know this? We have a lot of people in Washington that cannot read, or if they can read, they still don't have the capability to understand how to fill out forms, okay? Benefit applications. So our case managers will assist in filling out public benefits applications and applying to long-term programs and supports because the people can't do it. And they also receiving home health aids services to declutter the home and home modifications for accessibility. So I'm gonna talk about that real quick. Receiving home health aids, what does that mean? They help you get a caregiver, and they get you a caregiver through the EPD waiver, and that's called elderly and persons with physical disabilities. They help you get someone through that program. It takes a little while, but they will eventually get that person for you. And the services to declutter the home, that is a program where they will bring in a group of people, and the people are supposed to respect your home, but some people have felt that the people that were decluttering the home totally disrespected them, threw away things that they wanted to keep. I just want to say something real quick. Hi, Miss Greer Masson. How are you? Well, you're muted, but I can see that you responded. And so they declutter the home, but a lot of times they throw away things that the people treasure. Okay. Now, home modifications for accessibility. You know what that means? That means having the Safe at Home program. And so that's what case management does. And they also connect you to transportation, nutrition, and socialization services. So connecting to transportation, that would mean Metro Access, Transport DC, okay? And there are some other carriers out there. And nutrition, what would nutrition be? Nutrition would be home delivered meals, mom's meals, or coming into our senior wellness centers to have lunch. And socialization services, what does that mean? Well, listen, you all are in the senior iPad program right now, right? That's socialization. We want to make sure that you are not in an isolated situation where you have no one to talk to, no one to listen to you, no one to just ask you how you're doing. And so this type of program that you all have is great because it allows you to say hello to your friends. And the same thing goes for our senior wellness centers. Now, I don't know whether you all are members of the Senior Wellness Center now, but you may have been at one point in time. And so case management is short-term support, but it leads to long-term solution. Because once you get, say for instance, once you get transportation, you keep transportation, okay? Once you get home delivered meals, most of the time you'll keep home delivered meals, especially if you're sick, frail, and shut in. You will keep your home delivered meals. And socialization services, as long as we have a senior wellness center, you have someplace to go. And then the senior iPad program is here. So all of these factors make for better living for the seniors in the District of Columbia. And of course, again, our cell phone number is 202-724-5626 for more information. Okay, ready for the next one.
Ms. Alice, we had a couple of hands. Did you want to see?
Okay. Who wanted to ask a question?
Yes. I see we have Mr. Adams. Not sure if you had a question for Miss Alice.
Yes.
You go ahead, Mr. Adams. Do you have a question for Miss
It
Alice?
wasn't so much a question, it was to answer her question when she was trying to figure out the term that was used is, I believe it's called executor of the estate.
No,
Well,
not that one, not for the court appointed. They call them something else. They call them,
Okay.
yeah, they call them something else. I'll get it and I'll let him know.
Well, okay, power of attorney. That's the only one I think of.
Yeah, the power of attorney is when a family member, and this becomes a battle with the ones that was not selected the power of attorney. The person, say, I'm gonna say Miss Greer Massey, she selects her son to be the power of attorney. Her son could be the youngest one, but he is the most reliable, the most respectful, the one that makes sure that she gets to the bank, the one that makes sure that she has food in her house, the one that makes sure that her house is clean. All of these things are important. The one that makes sure that if she wants to go to church on Sunday, he helps her get to church on Sunday. And he's not always asking her for money and never paying it back. So a lot of times you can have an older sibling in the house and he does none of these things, but he feels like he should have been selected because he's the oldest. And wise parents know their children, just like my mother knew her children. My mother selected me as her power of attorney because she knew, number one, I was trustworthy. Number two, she knew that I would respect her wishes. And that is so important when you respect someone's wishes. Say, like, for instance, my mother liked to pay all of her bills. My mother says, please pay all of my bills when I die. And I had a sister, she bawled me out. She says, what the heck are you, but she didn't use the word heck, paying her bills and she's dead. But you have to respect what people are asking you to do. And that's the reason why, parents know, believe it or not, parents know their children and they know which ones are the ones that they can trust. But that's not it. It's a court, maybe, is it a court appointed attorney? But
Yes.
I'll figure it out.
Miss Pamela said custody of the individual in the chat. I'm not sure if
Okay.
that's it either, but thank you for sharing, Mr. Adams.
Yeah, I can barely hear you though.
Yes. Again, just let me know when you want to move on to the next slide.
Okay.
We have about 9 hands up.
Yeah, we're ready.
So do you want to answer some more? Or do you want to move on to the next slide?
Were there any more questions?
Oh, there's about 9 hands up, Alice.
Oh, let's talk. Oh, I see him there. Okay, Kevin.
Yeah, Mr. Kevin already went. So
Okay, Mary
Ms.
Thomas.
Miss Mary, did you have a question about the case management resource? Anne.
Oh, my hand was up by mistake.
Okay, so we have Ann Thomas. You ready, Miss? I mean, Ann Dennis, you ready?
Yes, it's when we did it a few years ago, it was a court-appointed attorney.
Yeah, that's what it is, court-appointed attorney. Yeah.
And the family opted for that option because Uncle Joe was stubborn and confused, and the only person that could deal with him was me. I was next door, and the family felt that with the attorney and me being next door, that we were the two people that could handle things. So
right. That's great.
It worked out pretty good. I'm asking about, I know the rights of the patient in the EBT program, but what are the rights for the aides? Because I have one. Yeah, I have one that's always telling me she's got rights, and I want
well, now wait a minute.
Her.
All right.
I'm trying
to fade now.
Go to jail.
Miss Ann.
Yeah. And
Yes, can you hear me?
No, you
Went
faded
out.
out a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, she's always talking about her rights and doesn't want to do anything and talk on the phone and
Oh,
so
no. I'm gonna tell
I'm
you what you can do after you finish talking.
okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to be patient and not go to jail.
Okay, no, you won't be going to jail, but Miss Ann, if you have an aide and she's not treating you, now aides have a right to be respected because a lot of times people think that aides are their maids or slaves. That's not true.
Yes, I understand
But
that.
if
And I do know
if
people that treat them like that, but that's
right,
not what's going
right,
on here.
right. But if the aide doesn't do some of the things that you know is in her job scope, and you all bicker a lot, you can ask to have her replaced.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can send a you can call our case management um um program manager, and
Mhm.
or either you do emails, right, Miss Ann?
Yes, ma'am. I learned
Yeah.
it through the iPad.
Well, now you know my email is alice.thompson@dc.gov. If you really feel that your case manager is not doing anything that you want done, reasonable things, you know what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to
Mhm.
help you in your bedroom. They're supposed to help you bathe, you know, your day-to-day daily living chores, bathe, clothing, feeding you, making sure you're taking the right medication. They're supposed to communicate with you. If you want to go out and take a walk, they're supposed to go with you. They're also supposed to go to the doctors with you, things like that. And she's supposed to, I think she's supposed to fix your breakfast. Do you get home delivered meals? You get mom's meal?
Mhm. Yes, I do.
Okay, so does she
Yeah,
put your
and she
food
does.
on a plate?
She's learning how to cook, but she has some issues, and
She has some
I'm trying.
conditions.
Yeah, she's got some issues, and sometimes I have uh medicine issues that make me sick and whatever, and she seems to think that I want to deliberately throw up on myself on the
Oh,
floor. And
so she gets
it
angry.
gets a little, yeah, it gets a little stupid sometime,
Okay.
and then she's always talking about um she's new, and I'm on the My Way program, and I kind of inherited her.
Okay.
Somebody, yeah, and so I'm trying to be patient. She's got a lot of issues, and I'm trying to be a good Christian person and not go to hell in a handbasket. So
Well, but you don't want a person that's keeping you unhappy in your home either. Because someone else will pick her up if you feel like you want to try to
well,
get a
I'm easing her out. I'm trying not to do it before Christmas because she has 5 kids and two
yeah,
no good husbands.
but you come
It's
first
a lot
though.
of
You
stuff.
know
Yeah,
that, right? You come
yeah,
first. Okay.
I do.
So you
So thank you for talking with me, Miss Alice. I appreciate it, and
well,
uh,
okay.
uh, I do know that they have to have a police check
Yeah, they had to be
and you all,
trustworthy.
yeah, and you all do a
But
real good
still
job.
don't keep your credit cards in your wallet.
No, no, but
So that they
I've had AIDS for a long time, and
right.
this is the first aid that I've had out of maybe 6 or 7 that have the phone is glued to her ear, and you have to
Well, she's no good to you because she's supposed to be talking to you.
yeah, she's talking on the phone, and she's fussing about this and fussing about that, and um she was the broker was here, and she came in and hollered at the girl who's gonna take her mother's place, and oh, you getting ready to fire me? I looked at her and said, honey, I'm not that stupid. If I was getting ready to fire you, I wouldn't have asked you to the meeting.
Yeah. Well, okay. just
Yeah.
remember what I
So,
said. If
It's been
if
a
it
little
gets to a
crusty, but
point-
anyhow, thank you.
yeah, if it gets to a point where you don't want to deal with anymore, you reach out to case management, okay? All right,
Okay,
so
I
now
will. I
we
have a
have,
good.
thank you. We have Miss
Mhm.
Diane Leach. Hi, Diane.
We have Greer was next, Alice.
Oh, Greer.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi, Greer.
We have about 4 hands. I'm not sure if you want to go through the
Okay.
hands because I know we
Hi,
have
Greer.
Hi,
some.
hi again, Alice.
How
Look,
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been trying to assist a very dear friend who's been going through. She's been in the hospital off and on, and just recently got out of Virginia hospital, and she wasn't given the proper case management, uh, AIDS information or anything, and she is really in bad shape physically, and she needs some help, and I just been trying to help her along as far as the services that she'll need at home now.
Mhm.
And
So they released her at home and they didn't give
and
her.
she didn't have any follow up whatsoever. No physical therapy, no occupational therapy, no AIDS or any of that.
What hospital?
She was out. She was out at Anova, Arlington, and then
Really?
they transferred her to Woodbine Nursing. Woodbine Therapy
Mm-hmm.
Rehab, Woodbine Rehab in Arlington, and
Mm-hmm.
she was there for about 6 weeks. And but she didn't have case management like I had when I left Georgetown. It was
Mm-hmm.
no comparison. So I've been trying to help her along, and that was one of the main reasons I wanted to get on this
Okay,
call
so
today.
what you do, what you want to do, you want to call 202. Now, our case manager is going to be away for 2 weeks, but she has told me that there's 2 people that's going to be answering her calls.
Mm-hmm.
If you now, first of all, your friend has to say that she wants you to help her get services.
Okay.
That's number one. Okay. And if she wants you to help her get services, then you can send me an email, but and have your friend's name on the email and have her to state that she has authorized you to seek information for her.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
And you
do
can
that.
send it to me, alice.thompson@dc.gov, and I'll send it to the people that's backing up our case manager because she's going out of the country for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'll be going. I'll be
All right.
going out of town myself for my birthday next week.
Oh, okay. Have fun.
Sunday, as a matter of fact. But I'll try to get things in place before I leave.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've really been taking up a lot of time with this, and she needs the help very badly. When
Yeah.
you spoke in terms of decluttering, is that only for people in houses or
It's
people in
houses and
apartments?
apartments.
Houses and apartments?
In apartments, right.
Because I was told that
And I know Ward uh
7.
7 does the I think what did they call that program? The house cleaning. What I forgot the name of the program because I haven't seen it in so long. But it's Ward 7, and they help with uh,
Because I had inquired about that with what was that, East River?
yeah,
And they
it's
told me
East
it was
River.
only for people in houses. So she's in an
Oh,
apartment.
I don't see why it would just be for people in houses.
I couldn't understand it, but that's what I was told because I
She
definitely
said
inquired
just
about it.
houses only.
That's what I was told. Yes.
Huh. I'm gonna ask Angela about that because that's I mean, who did you speak to at East River?
I don't want to do all that, Alice.
No,
But
no, it doesn't matter. You're not getting anybody in trouble. But what I'm saying is that uh, I would have to check on it because if you helping a senior declutter their home, I mean, I know the homes can end up having a lot more in it, but if a person's been living in an apartment for the last 50 years, that gets cluttered. It's still their home.
Yeah.
So
And
I'll have
she
to
was
find
in a,
out
she
about
was
that.
in a lot
Because
of
honestly, I
activities.
haven't seen a flyer on decluttering in a long time. Honestly, I thought that the program had been deleted from our files. I didn't know it was still going on because you didn't see too much of it, but they did. They're still doing it.
Yeah, I was told that was for homes only and not apartments. So I just, I took them at their word.
Okay, well, maybe it is just for homes,
You're right.
but
Okay.
I'll find out.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I'll make contact with you then, Alice, before I
Okay.
leave again.
All right.
Okay then. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
All right then. Mhm.
Okay, Miss Diane. Hi, Miss Diane.
Because I have to ask them to unmute.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, go ahead, Diane.
Hello. Yes, I'm okay now. My
Hi,
question
how are you?
is, just fine, thank you, and you?
I'm doing fine.
Just good. My question is two things. I'm trying to renew my Metro Access card,
Okay.
and I did it, but I haven't heard anything back
Well,
because
have you called Metro?
I've
You
been
have to
trying to
give
get
them a
in touch.
call.
I've been trying to get in touch with them and I can't get through.
And no one's answering.
No,
So what I'm
maybe
gonna
you can give
do,
me a number where
um, what I can do, one of the people that does outreach for Metro Access, Mr. Reggie Ward, I can give him your number and let him know that you have been trying to, you're trying to find out if they have completed your application, or are you trying to find out if they even received it?
no, what I'm trying to do, my card is about to expire on the 3rd of November.
The 3rd of November?
Okay, I started in August trying to reach
Right, so
Metro.
you send it into them.
Let me explain. When I did talk to somebody one time, and they told me I had to get a new card. I say, but all I want to do is renew. My question is simply, it ain't like I'm gonna get any better. And what? Why should I have to go to the extent to get a new card when all my information is
Well, it
already
may be
in there?
because, your card may have been good from, let's do a hypothetical answer. Your card could have been good from
It's
2018 to 2023,
my
say
card is
September.
still good, is what I'm telling you. What I'm trying to tell you is I've been trying since August to renew my card before it expires.
That's what I'm saying. You got an expiration date coming up.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have an expiration date coming up. So it may be a reason, I think regardless of who you are, a Metro Access card is not lifetime. When I say lifetime, you still have to turn in new information because things may have changed with you. You follow what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
And
Yes,
so they
ma'am.
want to know. Basically, what they want to know is, hey, do you still need the service?
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to do is, what do I need to do? Because I've been trying since August to renew.
And
What
you
is
haven't
it?
been able to reach anybody. Is that correct?
That's what I'm trying to tell
Okay,
you.
so this is what I told you, that Reggie Ward that works for Metro Access, I will let him know that your card expires very soon and you've been trying to reach Metro Access and you have not been able to reach anybody and you're worried about it.
Right.
So
Right.
I need your name and your telephone number, and
I'm gonna
I'm
put
gonna
it
have
in the chat.
Reggie call you.
I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Can you just give me your number, or you don't want people to see
Oh,
your?
No, I
um,
don't
hey,
mind.
hey,
Two
no,
oh two.
it's a recording, Diane. So, again, I will relay that information to Miss Alice for you. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah, because
I'll
we had some more participants raising their hand. So just make sure that I get that.
I will. I have it written down here in my notes, Alice.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'd like to receive mom's meal again, please. I don't have it.
You like to what?
Receive mom's meal again.
Did you say insurance?
No, she said moms
No,
for meals.
mom's.
Oh,
Alice.
well, mom's meals, ma'am, in order for you to get mom's meals, you have to call 202-724-5626. And you will call that number. That's the DACL call center. You
Okay.
would call that number, and what you would tell them when they answer the phone is that my name is Diane Leach, and
Right.
I am in need of mom's meals because why? Are you sick, frail, and shut in, and you can't fix food for yourself anymore? So they
No.
have to talk to you and see if you qualify to get mom's meals. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Did you want to move on to the next slide, Alice? I know we still have about four.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move to the next one
Yes, and please save your
because
questions.
it's 19 of them. We may be here at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we're shooting for around 2:30, 2:45.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So yes, here's the next
Okay,
slide.
so now we have a new director. As you can see, the sign is saying acting, but we have a new director. She was sanctioned by the city council. She is our director now, and her name is Mrs. Sharon P.W. Hines, and she's a third generation Washingtonian, former senior advisor to the chancellor at the DC Public Schools, former director of the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs, three-time consecutive president of the Lamar Riggs Citizens Association, a member of the DC Caregivers Institute. She lives in Ward 4 in Riggs Park, and she's a daughter of a Gulf War veteran and a wife and mother of an infant son. So here's the great thing about this. This is what makes it so important, because some people may say, oh, well, okay, so she's the new director. Yeah, okay. So this is the great thing about it. She says, let's connect. Okay. And what she is saying is ask the director at dc.gov. So you will send an email to ask the director at dc.gov, and you can ask her any kind of questions that you want to ask her, okay? And she will respond back to you. Okay? Just remember the email, ask the directors, all one word, at dc.gov.
That's
Okay,
really cool.
you want to move on, and then we'll get to some questions after the next two slides.
Sure, yes. If you have your hands up for
Now, did anyone have a question?
I can't tell if these hands are for ones now or from before.
These well, we have Pamela, Gloria Duckett. I think these are new hands.
They've been up for a while, Alice.
Okay, well let's talk to them real quick.
Yes, Ms. Juliet is next up. Did you have a question about our new director or the case management services?
Hi, Miss Alice, good afternoon.
Hi.
What I was going to share with you quickly, because I know you have a lot to do in a short space of time.
Yes.
That word that you was trying to find is called a conservator, which is a C-O-N.
Court-appointed conservator. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's it.
I did put it in the chat for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, you're welcome.
That's it. Yeah, because I knew it wasn't attorneys. It's yeah, that's it. But
You're
I
welcome.
have
Thank you,
heard
Miss Ann.
where they have robbed people too. Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Ms. Juliet. Next up is Teresa. Go ahead, Teresa, unmute.
Good
Hi.
afternoon to the guests.
Hello.
This is my situation. As you know, the aid service can no longer pay overtime. The last day is October 30th. That means everybody who is working 12 hours, 16 hours, whatever, they can no longer do that. They cannot work longer than 40 hours per week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my situation in which I'm asking you for advice on, my husband is a 24-hour case. He has advanced dementia. So he needs someone to do everything for him. He needs someone who's consistent. As you know, anybody with dementia or Alzheimer's, constant change is not good for him. And so he's a 24-hour case. So you're seeing 3 different aides in one day. And sometimes people have to take off. And sometimes it's more than one person. So in the course of 2 or 3 weeks, he's had anywhere from 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 different aides, which is taking a toll on him. It's also taking a toll on me, because when an aide is not here, I can't let my husband sit there in bowel movement because nobody is here. So I have to do it and injure myself. It happens every time. Now,
Oh, because
he
there's
has,
nobody there with him.
yes, so if you cut out his people who work 24 hours, there's one person in particular, he comes in at 8 a.m., he
Uh-huh.
leaves at midnight. This guy is very good with him. He can get him out of the bed. He can get my husband to do things that no other aide or myself can get him to do, like brush his teeth, or get him to come up out of the bed. Now, for this person to be cut and not work 8 hours, not only work 8 hours, is harming Mr. Washington, because he's not getting out of the bed. He's not getting his teeth brushed. So specifically, my question to you is, what can be done to make my husband a special case and not be included in that thing where everybody can't work more than 8 hours? That's my
Okay, so
specific
what
question.
you're gonna have to connect with the case manager, explain everything,
I did connect
and
with
they
the case
couldn't do
manager.
anything.
He said that is the rule. Government is not paying overtime anymore. And
Oh,
if a
right,
case
yeah,
man-
I can understand. Yeah, so
So the case manager cannot make the government make him an exception as it relates to this overtime. So does my husband have any other recourse, or do I have any other recourse? Because the burden is falling on me. My husband is not conscious. So if he don't get bowel taken off of him, he's not aware. So it falls on me.
yeah, it's if she says that nothing can be done, it's gonna be, do you have any family members that will help out?
Someone made that suggestion to me. Do you have any family members? There are family members that can help out, but the specific things that aides do, in which you need technique and experience in doing in order to handle it. I'll give you an example. If he's bedbound, his bowel needs to be changed. There's a way you're going to change him so you can get him changed. Another way you're going to turn him, the way you're going to move him so you're not disrupting him to hell's end, and you're getting the job done. Now, and relative who's not experienced in doing that, that's just like having aide in here that's not experienced in doing that.
Right.
So to call a relative, that's just one example. There's some things as it relates to feeding that you have to make sure you handle someone in his case. A relative who's not working with him every day and learning these techniques, then that's not going to help. And
so
I don't want my question to be too broad. What recourse do I have to help make sure he's able to maintain an aide that can work more than 40 hours a week? Because he already has the people to
if
do it.
they have said that aides cannot work more than 40 hours, then So are you speaking of one aide that worked more than 40, or are you speaking of just
Of
having,
his three
speaking of
aides,
having
there is
aides
one that,
there that,
okay, of his three aides, he has one that works more than 40 hours. And the more than 40 hours don't have to be him, although he's the best choice. But if there's someone who can work more than 40 hours, so we don't have this constant change, and someone that who can work with him. And if
I
it's
don't
like,
think, if they said that, it can't be done, it can't be done.
okay,
You know.
okay, you've answered my question. You've answered
Yeah,
my
they're
question.
pretty
So I have one
strict.
other question. Other question. Who do I go to make arrangements for him to go in a nursing home, because it's not being done? And I'd rather run my behind up and down the road to see him in a nursing home than to have him here with bowel and not being fed and not being taken for a walk. So tell
Okay,
me
so
who
let
you
me ask you a
have,
question.
DACL, that can help me get him in a nursing home.
Let me ask you a question. So, they have they have a nursing home transition team that brings people out of the nursing home, but, they can also help place them in a nursing home if that's what you really want.
That's not what I want, but I had no choice. I better see him in a nursing home than to have him up here never walking, which means he's going to lose the ability to walk, or have him here choking because people can't handle his situation, or have him with bowel on him from 8 a.m. until midnight. Yes, I choose a nursing home. So give me the name and number of the people
So
where I can make
you're
arrangements for him to
saying,
be transferred to a nursing home.
okay, so what you would do, you would go back to case management. Okay.
And
So
tell them I want him
remember,
transferred to a
case
nursing home, correct?
management job is to help clients identify their needs, set mutually agreeable goals, and develop a plan.
Okay, I got you. I'll call the
Oh,
case manager,
so-
let him know
so
Mr.
you will
Washington
call
needs to be
two-
transferred to a nursing home,
202.
and he can make the arrangements after that. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah, you should call them back.
Thank you, Teresa. I know that was hard, but hopefully that they can assist you with that. We have two folks left. Do you want to answer those folks, Alice, or move on to the next slide?
All right, any more questions from this? And okay, so we'll move on.
Next is Pamela. Go ahead, Pamela. Do you have a question about the case management or the director?
Hi, Pam.
You gotta hit unmute in the middle, Miss Pamela. Again, Miss Pamela, there you go.
Okay, I was hitting the wrong thing. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Pamela.
How are you doing? I have a question in reference to case management.
Okay.
I have had an assessment done and I have not heard anything. I called the place that did the assessment and they keep telling me to call United Healthcare, but nobody is answering the phone there. So I wanted to know, is there anything that I can do? Because I haven't heard back from anyone.
So why did DACA's case management tell you to call United Healthcare?
I'm not sure, but that's what I was told. Because I
Okay.
haven't gotten any in my paperwork. They said I would receive something from Liberty that did the
You trying to get an EPD waiver?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, you can, so, and I don't think you could even go to United before you get your EPD waiver, right? You got to get authorization. So you can go back to case management and let them know that you have not heard from Liberty, nor have you heard from United Health, and say, help, you need help.
Right.
Okay. Just tell them you need help.
Okay, so I would call
Go back to 202
Number here on the screen.
5626.
Okay.
and tell them that you need help. And you may want to say that you would like to speak to Miss Angela Levy.
Levy.
Levy,
Okay.
but she's gonna be away for 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Tomorrow's her last day.
All
About
right.
2 weeks. Okay,
All right. Thank you so much.
welcome.
Thank you, Miss Pamela. Don't forget to lower your hand. I think we have Ms. Duckett, and then I think we can move on to the next slide and get those questions
Okay.
answered after that, okay? Ms. Duckett, can you go ahead and unmute? You're on 2 devices. So
Hello.
you might echo. Yes, hi, Ms. Duckett.
Hi, how you doing? Ms. Thomas, this is Mrs. Duckett. You tried to help me before, but before I go there, legal counsel for the elderly, and there's a what's called that starts with adult.
Adult Protection Services.
That was fit that question that you were trying to help someone not too long ago when you first came on.
Mhm.
That will also help that person too, and as well as legal counsel
Oh,
for
you're
the
talking
elderly.
about the court appointed,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need one?
Ma'am.
No, I'm saying, do you need one?
No, but I was also giving you those 2 names that to help you out. You was trying to think of the name.
Oh, it's not legal
Oh.
counsel for the elderly. No, it's not them.
So it's the adult protection one then.
No, what happens, the
That was a
Adult
different
Protection
question.
Service will send your case to court, and then the judge authorizes a person to be over all of your affairs.
Okay. All right. But now for my question, I wanted to find out, is the Hungry Harvest basket still going on? Because I haven't heard from it over a month. And they
What
usually
was that
send me
again?
a notice.
What was
The
it?
Hungry Harvest basket.
The Hungry Harvest basket. And
Yeah,
who's giving those out?
Now that's what I'm not sure of. But I know I was getting it the same week that I was getting the mom's meals.
Oh, and you were getting a basket.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, guess
And
what?
I was
I
wondering.
have not heard of this basket, so I don't know who was giving it out.
Okay, because they usually send me a notice letting me know.
My colleague said it was Martha's Table, but it's not DACL. We don't give out baskets. We have home delivered meals or mom's meals.
Okay, I get the mom's meals, but okay. So it's Martha Table I need to talk with? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, try to talk to Martha's Table.
Okay. Ever since you wrote that letter for me, I still have not gotten any assistance.
Call 202
202
6608.
Oh, can you say that number again, Miss Alice?
Yeah.
Can you say it again? 202.
Wait a minute, Sharon, hold on for a minute. I'll put it in the chat. It's 202 328. Wait a minute.
328
328 6608. 6608. And that's
808.
Martha's Table in Southeast Ward 8.
2375 Elvins Road.
2375 Elvins?
Yeah, ELVANS.
That's up there by that rec center. And
yeah, right around the corner.
Right. Okay, hold on for a minute. Okay. So I'm gonna put this in the chat for everyone.
Yeah.
It's a direct message.
Yeah, you got that number though, Miss Duckett.
What was the address?
2375 Elvins, ELVANS Road, Southeast.
All righty. Okay, but I was saying, ever since you wrote the letter for me, I still have not heard anything what they're going to do for me. You wrote the letter for the EPD waiver for me, but they
Okay,
haven't done
but
anything.
how long ago was that?
Ma'am,
How long ago?
the last time you came to Model Cities,
Oh my goodness. I remember you are you visually impaired?
I'm blind, yes.
Yes. Okay. I did send that in and I don't know. So you didn't hear from anyone?
They called me, but they didn't ever get back to me to let me know what they was going to do.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. So,
Because remember they said I was $35 over income.
oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're over income. 35 may be a lot, may be considered a lot,
Okay.
you know, because 35,
Alrighty.
I guess if you go to Costco, you can almost get a bag of something, you know, like some potatoes and corn and vegetables, like for 35.
Okay. But
So
if they would
that may be
if they
why
would
you
call
didn't
me
hear.
if they
What
would
was that?
call me and let me know what I need to do for the spin down, then
Well,
maybe I have some idea.
I'm gonna have to have your see. I don't have that anymore. Once I send it in, it's gone in. I
Right.
don't have your name, your email address, or anything. So I would have to have that information all over again.
Okay, so what
That was
I'll
like
do is
that
You
call.
want me to send it, Ms.
I'll
Duckett?
send it.
You want me
Say
to
it
send
again, sir.
would you like me to send that information to Ms.
Yes,
Alice?
yes,
Ms.
please,
Duckett?
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
I
already,
would appreciate that so
yes,
much.
I'm already helping out somebody else, so I'll be sure to, I
All
already
right,
got a
thank
number
you.
and
Thank
information.
you.
I'll put that to Ms. Alice, okay, Ms. Duckett?
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
I
Okay.
see
So I
we
put that in the chat about Martha's table. Okay. Any
Yeah.
more questions?
I think you sent it to one person, Alice. I don't see any chat from you.
Okay. All right. So we can move on.
Yes, Ms. Angela, we'll get to you after these next two slides. We're running out of time, okay?
Yeah, we are. And we only on like, okay, so here's the adult protection services. So, let's put it like this. If you believe that an adult is being mistreated, exploited, or abused, Adult Protection Services, and it's the acronym is APS, can help assess and provide support. So APS social workers help to ensure that DC residents in need of protection are connected to the services they need. And what they ask you to do is report abuse today, and you can do that by calling the APS hotline, which is 202-541-3950. You can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the most important thing is to know what abuse is or neglect. So it's allegations of abuse, neglect, self-neglect, and or exploitation. And you call that number. So we're going to spend a few minutes on this. How many people have a good understanding of what self-neglect is? Anybody want to try answering?
Miss Denise, not sure if you raised your hand for that.
You said Spanish?
Can you explain what self-neglect is?
Oh yeah, like when you get to the point where you're not taking care of yourself, you're taking care of everybody else, you're not taking your medication on time, you're not taking time to put it together to make sure you got the right stuff. You manipulate yourself into doing things that you really don't want to do, or allow the children to manipulate you. Yes, that's some of my things.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Denise. Did you have a question for Miss Alice for the later, or so I could keep your hand up?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll
Thank
call on you in a few.
Okay. Okay, so we just have to what APS is saying, you don't have to knock on that person's door. I mean, if you've known a person for a long time and you want to do that, but then you got to remember, a lot of times people, when they get to a point, they could have been the neatest, cleanest person that you've ever seen, and you used to always admire how they kept their homes and things, and all of a sudden, trash is everywhere, old toilets are sitting up on the front porch or in the backyard, but you don't know their state of mind, you see. So that's why it's best not to knock on their door. It's best to contact APS and let them do it, because they have the know-how, you know. They have the polish in doing that without making a person feel bad. Okay. So that's really important. I would like to talk more about APS, but we have lost so much time, so we have to move on. Are there any questions about APS? Any questions? Okay.
I guess we'll answer Mr. Angelo and
Okay.
then.
Because
So
we
go ahead.
need to get into safe at home, so we better move on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Because
thank you. Thank you very
it's
much.
2:41. We're gonna really have to move on.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna ask a really,
Yeah, go
really,
ahead,
really
Michael.
quick question. It's quick. You were saying something about what was that? What did I say? Oh, clutter, decluttering or something.
Decluttering. So do you live in a house or apartment?
A house.
Okay, so if you live in a house now,
Mhm.
but in order to get decluttering done, you're still
Mhm.
going to have to go through case management, and they will connect you. So
Oh,
do you,
my case manager.
yeah, you're going to call 202-724-5626. And
Okay. Yeah.
case management will get in touch with the organizations. I know East River is one, but I think they have another one too. And they will get in touch with them, and they're going to ask you some questions and things like that. And then they will come out and help you declutter. But my suggestion to you, to make sure that you put up valuable things, okay?
But when you said, we said put up or put out?
Put them up. Because what happens when people come in to declutter, you see it as valuable, they see it as junk. Okay. And they start bagging and boxing, and some of them don't always respect what you want to keep. Do you understand that? They don't always respect what you want to keep because they see it differently. They see it as junk or clutter. Okay.
Okay. Do
into-
they take stuff away, or I mean things that like it's a lot of stuff that's there, and if they just want to, do they take stuff away that you want to get out of the house or what?
Yeah,
because
they take stuff away. They move old furniture, broken down furniture, broken down appliances. I've been at a lady's house, and she had newspapers stacked up like 6 and 7 feet tall all over the house, and they're gonna take that out.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
So that's why I said, if you have something that's very important to you, you need to move it, because when they come in and start decluttering, they are not respecting you the way they should. I'm hoping that they're better than the way they used to be, because they see it differently.
Right,
okay?
right.
So you call, what you're gonna do, you're gonna call 202-724-5626, and you tell them that you need help. But that comes under social work. That's why I say you have to call a case management. And they
And you said the case management is at that number you gave me, right?
Yeah, 202-724.
Right.
But
Right, I
that's
got-
our call center number, and you're gonna
Okay.
tell them that you would like to speak to case management. And they're
Okay.
gonna ask you, what is it about? They may
Mhm.
ask you that, and you tell them that you would like to have your home decluttered.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate
welcome.
that very
You're
much.
welcome.
So. Okay.
All right,
Mhm.
so we better move on.
Yes, I still see you, Miss Denise. I know we're at time.
And you know what? I think your battery may be running low on your iPad.
I saw, I plugged it in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kept
Um,
seeing battery low.
Yes, yes. I see we have, did you want to go through these last two and then maybe save the rest
Okay,
for the
what we
day?
need to
Wanna do
do,
that?
what time are we supposed to be off?
Really 2:45. I know safe at home is pretty important, so
Yeah, let's do safe at, well, let me talk to them real quick about the Qualified Medicare Beneficiary Program. It's known as the QMB program. What is the QMB program? It's administered by the DC Medicaid, and they provide secondary insurance coverage to Medicare beneficiaries who live in the district with incomes below $3,665 per month. Single, or if you're married, is $4,950 per couple. And it can cover all of your Medicare cost sharing charges, including premiums, deductibles, and co-insurance. And you can call SHIP at 202-727-8370. And now, what'll happen if you qualify for the QMB? If your income is below $3,665 per month, you will qualify, and Medicaid will pay your Medicare Part B premium, which is $164. And this $164 can buy you food, it can buy you a couple pair of shoes, it can pay your electric, it can pay your gas, depending on what your bills are. So it's a good program to be in. And if you get brand name prescription medication is $9 and something, and generic is I think it's $3 something. So it's a great deal. So how many people think they qualify for the QMB? Let me ask a question. How many people are already in the QMB program? Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn.
Make sure you raise your hand in Zoom.
So quite a few. That's great. So
Yeah.
we know about this, right?
Yep.
Very good. Okay, so we'll move on to the next slide. Oh, good. You got 4 or 5 people that know. So this is our Safe at Home program. How many people have Safe at Home? Carolyn?
Should be lots. We
Oh,
have
quite a
some,
few. Okay.
yeah, we have some of our
Larry?
participants come from Safe at
Okay,
Home.
so let me talk about Safe at Home real quick. Safe at Home has a new maximum income of $79,700 for a single individual and $91,050 for a married couple. So you're going to contact DACL's call center if you are interested in Safe at Home. Learn more at the same old number, 202-724-5626. So now, if you've been in Safe at Home for a long time, in January 2023, Mayor Bowser announced the expansion of the Safe at Home 2.0, and it covers medication management, vision screenings, and balance strength training. If you are a current Safe at Home participant and would like to learn more about additional service that will help help reduce your risk of falling, call this number. It's 202-559-9856 or email safeathome@homecarepartners.org. Okay. And now keep in mind, this is a pilot program and will be provided until requests to participants already enrolled in Safe at Home 101. So it's a pilot program. So what does a pilot program mean? It's not going to be there forever. Okay. Now, so let's talk about Safe at Home. We're going to see what some of the adaptations are. We're ready. I don't have any questions, right? Okay,
Oh, I didn't know there was the next slide. Sorry, I thought you were going to read the middle portion.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that Safe at Home does to keep you mobile in your home, this type of adaptation will be a chairlift. And if you live in a district row house that has steps going down to the basement where your washer and your dryer and your furnace and your Pepco power relay boxes, you may need to have a chairlift going upstairs and one going downstairs. And these are chair ramps, and this is a smaller one. Say like if you only had one step, this one is sitting on, right here is showing as sitting on 2 steps, but it could probably sit on 4 steps. Okay, we can move to the next one. So this right here is a bathtub cut. You know, it has to be a cast iron bathtub for it to be cut. And this right here, they're showing a bathroom and you can see the grab bars, right? But can you all see? So see, that looks like a bathtub cut to me. But now see this, this thing that almost looks like a ladder. I think what that is I honestly don't know what it is. I think it must be something that raises you in the tub. It could be that, because I heard they had something that raised you in your bathtub. And these are the safety bars. Oh, yes, Miss Jacqueline Martin. Yes, ma'am. She needs to be unmuted.
Yeah, I got it. Miss Martin, go ahead and hit unmute in the middle, please.
What it mean? Those bars that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Those bars is like if you have to step over in your tub, it will help you to hold so you don't fall.
Oh,
that's what those white bars is.
Well, that doesn't look that safe to me.
It isn't. To be honest,
it is or it isn't.
It's not.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Because
that doesn't
if you're nervous or something, you can slip and you'll do more damage to yourself.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, it's not good for you. And the other one, when you were saying it's cut out. Yeah, it's cut for you to swing to get in, but how do you keep the water from coming out?
Well, it's supposed to be, I think the reason why they're showing it to you like that, because you may not want your bathtub to look like that, right? But it's supposed to be where you walk through it. I think this is almost like a trap door that goes down so that your bathtub looks like a bathtub.
But this still isn't good for a person that can't lift their feet or their legs to get in there.
Yeah.
Some people have to have walk-in showers, like a flat surface, so they can slide their feet in and be able to go in and feel.
So what that was, you can go back to that. What it is, I think I have another picture of a Safe at Home, and
please, right?
It is truthfully a better model. No, it's the same. It's the same. So in other words, what they're saying, it's easier for a person to lift their feet up 5 inches as opposed to lifting it up. The average bathtub is about what, 2.5 feet tall. So I see that, and this is what keeps the water from coming out. So it acts like a shower. Okay, so everybody's seen this chair, and it's electric because you can see the little piece, right?
Yes.
This is a nice color, and this chair is supposed to raise you up, let you down. A lot of people love it. You see how it's up in the air? That's because it's getting ready to let you down. So you can get that. And this toilet is a toilet that will be in your house, but this toilet is only, you can almost measure it yourself visually and see that it's only 2 feet tall. I mean, 12 inches tall, right? So
Yeah, but it's a receiver cup.
yeah, but no. So what they do, they put this about 4 inches on it to make it like chair height. And then it has arm rails. So this helps a person that's in a wheelchair go from their wheelchair to that. And so this is a really good idea.
Yeah.
And this
Did we
right
answer your
here.
question, Ms. Martin? Did we answer your question? Oh, thank you.
And this right here is a shower seat. And you see how they have soap up there? Because if you're sitting in a chair, you need something where you can, and I think I see water in the bathtub, right? So you need something that you can put your little personal hygiene items on. And so that's what that's for. Okay, so we can go to the next slide. Oh,
sure.
yes.
The next one is about virtual events. I know we're coming off on time.
We don't need to do virtual events, but Ms. Adelaide, you have a question?
Yes. Go ahead, Adele, and unmute. Do you have a question
Yes,
about
thank you.
modification?
Thank
Yes.
you. As far as the tub is concerned, it's a cast on, I think it's cast on tub, the old ones that
Yeah, that's
we've
the only
had
one that can
now
be
for
cut.
years. That can be cut,
Yeah, the cast iron. That's what that
No,
tub
no.
was, a cast iron tub.
but if you have a tub that has feet on it, can that work for
That's
that?
an old fashioned cast iron tub that can be cut. But what would be the point in cutting a tub to have feet? It's still going to be too high. Now, my mother's house, when she lived on 2nd Street, had a big old tub like this, and it was a cast iron tub, flat on the floor.
Oh, flat on the floor.
Yeah, it has
No,
to be flat on the floor. But the one that has the
feet on it.
That would not be good because it's still going to be too high.
I see.
Yeah, it'll be too high.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions for Miss Alice for today about
Any questions? The last slide is food stamps in senior wellness center. Okay, so these are senior wellness centers, and they're located in wards 1. That's the Bernice Fontenay, and UDC has a Body Wise program. Hattie Holmes is in Ward 4. Model Cities is in Ward 5. Hayes Senior Wellness Center is in Ward 6, where our headquarters is located. And Ward 7 is the Washington Senior Wellness Center. And 8 is Congress Heights Senior Wellness Center. And plus, there are plenty of parks and recreation centers. How many people live in Ward 5, Bloomingdale's? Anybody live in Ward 5?
Yeah.
No one. Okay. Anyway, I live in Bloomingdale's, and we finally getting a recreation center on North Capitol Street where the old Macmillan Reservoir was. And we're finally getting one with a lot of other amenities,
Oh, that's good. They've done a lot of construction on North Capitol. So
oh
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah. So that's what's going on. Traffic is backed up like crazy, because they got one side of First Street closed. Okay, so we could do the food
Yes,
stamps.
we have a hand up. Did you want to do the food first and then Miss Jennifer?
What was that?
We have Miss Jennifer's hands up. Did you want to go through the food first?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Yeah, just again, just looking at the time. Miss Jennifer, you had a question about these senior wellness centers or any of the safe at home things that we went over? Go ahead and hit unmute in the middle, Miss Jennifer, if you have a question.
We have two participants. Miss Brenda, yes.
Okay, Miss Jennifer, please unmute yourself.
Oh,
There you go.
no, I just wanted to say I live in Ward 5. That's all.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Miss Jennifer.
Okay.
Miss McManus.
Yes, Alice, now these senior wellness centers, can we go there like to do like water aerobics?
Okay,
exercise.
let me tell you where water aerobics is. Water aerobics is at Turkey Thicket and what is that? Deanwood. None of the senior wellness centers in Washington, DC have water aerobics.
Okay. And
so
I
you
know
have to go to Deanwood
okay.
or Turkey Thicket.
Okay. Now I went through UDC to get the paperwork because they said I had to have my doctor.
Okay, wait a minute, it's gonna be Furby Hope Pool, 700 Yuma Street Southeast, and that opens in December. That's gonna be
No, it already open.
oh, it's already open?
Yeah.
And
Water aerobics.
yeah, that opens in December.
Okay.
See, it opened November 27th. No, wait a minute, November 27th is.
No, look at that, that's when it goes through, that's the class that goes through there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
October something.
Yeah, so it opened up in October.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've gone through my doctor. I've gotten the paperwork to participate in the water aerobics exercise program. So yeah, and I had to go through UDC, the Body Wise program. So is this like, do I have to do this like once a year? Because I did it like months ago, but I never found.
You know, I would think that you would have to renew once a year, maybe twice a year. Because here's the thing, you can start off perfectly healthy, and a year and a half later, you could not be so healthy. And say like you got on one of our exercise machines and you had a heart attack, and the instructor, and it was the instructor telling you, come on, push harder, push harder, like that.
Right,
like that.
Right.
Then they could try to say it was our fault. That's the reason why they want you to be validated by a doctor that you are healthy enough for kind of strenuous activities.
Okay.
You don't have to do that type of activity to go to a senior wellness center. Some of them do quilting, sewing, crochet, artwork. So they're trying to make it so that, you know, believe it or not, some people stay in a wellness center all day long. I don't think I could do it, but they're here from the time it opens to the time it closes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Miss Alice, I think I'd like to do the water aerobics for seniors, and the paperwork that I have.
You know, it's one place out Chillum Road that everybody goes to, that water aerobics place. But I think that is a fee. But if you go to Deanwood or Turkey Thicket, you don't have to pay anything. And also Tacoma.
Okay.
I think Tacoma
now
has
the paperwork that I have, it's like maybe about 4 or 5 months old. So would they still honor that paperwork, or would I have
I think
to
so.
start?
Go in there and see. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right then. I'll try
Any
that.
more
Thank
questions?
you. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Miss Alice, what would you like to do now? Again, because it is about 3 o'clock that time.
Yeah, so I wanted to let you guys know, I don't know why my face didn't come up today. I don't know, but everybody knows me anyway. So I just wanted to let you all know that next week I am reaching out to DISB. Now, I don't know how many of you all know Adris, but he's been out sick for a while. So it's 2 other people that are kind of like taking his place. So we'll be back on track where I'll be able to provide some type of presentation and educational facts to you. I may not be able to get on every time, but I will do my best. So I just want to say that I am happy to be back, and everybody's looking well, those that I could see. And I think that's a great thing, you know. So Thanksgiving will be coming up. And folks, I don't know how many of you all have gone to the mayor's senior holiday celebration, but this year is the 25th annual. And it's going to be at the DC Armory on, what's that, Wednesday?
The 13th of
It's the 13th. I can't remember what day but it's on the 13th of December. I have a calendar. Hold on. It's the 13th of December, which happens to be a Wednesday. And it would be great if all of you all were able to go. But here's the problem. We don't pick you up from your homes.
That was the same thing like last year, right, Alice?
Yeah,
So,
you have to find a way to get there.
Yes.
Now, if you live in an apartment building and your apartment building's going, that's awesome. Because you all don't. How many people are actually members of a senior wellness center? So if you're a member of a senior wellness center, you could let them know that you want to go with them. But it would be wonderful to see you guys at the senior wellness center.
Don't forget about the feast of sharing.
Oh, and the feast of sharing, of course, you know, it's it's the 27th. It's always the day before Thanksgiving.
22nd of November.
The 22nd, because when is Thanksgiving? The 23rd?
Yeah.
It's the 22nd of November. So you may want to join that. Usually the food is pretty good.
Yeah.
And a lot of exhibitors will be there. See, Michael and Brenda saying, yeah, the food's good, you know. So
it was fun to meet you at the party last year. And
yeah. So it's, you know, it's a lot going on, and we're doing our best to try to keep the seniors happy, you know. So but you know the deal. Some of them you never please, but we do our best.
Oh man, well well thank you so much for coming on.
Okay, and it's good to see you guys again, and I'm happy that I'm back.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes.
So I hope you all learned a little bit today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned a whole lot. Thank you.
All right. Thompson for hosting today's session.
Look, I'm a good